Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Unity Center of Des Moines. Whether you are joining us online or here in person, we're just so glad you're here. We're in for a treat today with our guest speaker. If there, I don't think I see any new faces in here present today, but we welcome back people that were here last time. And just know if you didn't get one before, there's spring hug buttons in the entryway. If you've got a prayer request, want to be added to the newsletter, or have a suggestion of something specific that you would like to see co-created here, please write it down and put it in the prayer box that is right underneath that painting in the back. We want to hear from you. We are a diverse community that is committed to living a positive spiritual path, and we recognize that each person is on their own unique spiritual journey. Let's begin with song. And welcome back our dear Susan Kellogg, who's been away with her husband, and we're so glad to have you. And this particular song, if you're like me, it gets me moving. And so if you'd like to dance, that is optional. I don't know where Anna is. She was here. She usually dances.
Yeah.
She's greeting. She's greeting. Okay, I'll have to go get it. Okay. She changes everything she touches, and everything she is famous. She changes everything she touches, and everything she touches is famous. She changes everything she touches, and everything she touches is famous. Everything she touches is famous. It's everything she touches. Yay! Welcome back, Susan. And thank you, Doug, and the dancers for getting my energy moving. Okay, let me catch my breath. Dancing is a great way to move energy out and through your body, so we welcome it. Announcement time. I would like, first and foremost, before anything else, to celebrate Wayne is turning 90 years old next Sunday. And so, if I can have Rebel, she's at the piano, play happy birthday. Let's raise our voices and sing happy birthday to our dear Wayne Jones. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Wayne. Happy birthday to you. And many more. Congratulations. Still moving and shaking and being part of the healing of the world. So if you want to learn about radiating light, talk to Wayne. He's got some ideas. Also in that vein, his kids are throwing an open house birthday celebration for him next Sunday. So next Sunday, August 10th, is the potluck here. So you can come, hang out with the Unity peeps. And then 2 to 4 at Wayne's place, there's an open house to celebrate him. So those details will be in the newsletter. It's a whole day of joy and celebration and ideas, and just thrilled to have you, Wayne. We're so glad you're here. Yeah, round of applause.
Wayne's Place is beautiful.
What was that?
I said Wayne's Place is
Oh, and
beautiful.
Wayne's Place is beautiful, yeah, out in the country. Experience some nature and flowers and, yeah. You'll get a peek of that in the newsletter as well. He showed me a picture, so. All right, other celebrations. This is a celebration service.
Yeah.
So I would like people to celebrate, yes.
Yeah. Okay, well, I celebrate getting home again.
Yay.
And we went to South Carolina and actually visited Unity Center in Greenville. And I want to tell you, they're like a sister center because of the energy there. Very positive, very uplifting, very creative, very spiritual, not dogmatic. So that's why we all come. I know that's why. And here's my message for today. Because I have 5 powerfully empowered women celebrating birthdays in Greenville
Oh,
today. My daughter, Crystal, which some of you know, and then Avery, my granddaughter, their birthdays are back to back this weekend. So I'm celebrating them. And then all I have to do is go, wait a minute. Empower women, empower men.
oh, yeah.
Right?
Yes, yeah. We are all in this together. Okay, who else? Oh, Amanda's got something.
So my mom was in the hospital for 30 days.
Yeah.
And she's now out.
Yay! We have been praying for her and you. Yay, that is something to celebrate. That is fantastic. Yes.
I went on vacation in Lake Michigan, and the first 3 days it was extremely nice, warm, as warm as Hawaii water, 75 degrees. And the 4th day, it got cold and a storm came through, but it brought the best waves on the Lake Michigan. And I was able to ride waves all morning with my little body moving, and I'm so happy that I was able to.
Great. That is fun. There's something very spiritual about riding waves. All right, who else? That's good stuff. Yeah. Okay. All right, well, let's see. I'd like to thank Devin up there, if you want to wave at Devin. He waltzed in here and maybe it was like, what can I do? What can I do? How can I help? And I was like, we need sound help. And so he's up there. We still need people for sound because just having one person, despite our best efforts, no one is invincible. So we need more people trained, but you're doing a great job, Devin. Thank you so much for stepping up. And he's also going to give us an update on his meditation class planning next week. So thank you, Devin. I mentioned the potluck. And, if you have something you want to, because people are having ideas, which I am so thrilled about. We want to hear from the community. We are co-created here. So if there's something specific that you want to get covered or addressed, I mentioned dropping something in the box. You can also text the Unity cell phone. And that cell phone number, I won't say it right now, but it's all over the website. It's in the newsletter. You can ask me for it. And just please, we want to hear from you. And maybe it won't have immediate results, but it makes a difference planting those seeds and going forward. Had a great after service conversation with these 2 ladies over here last week about how we need to come together to amplify our light. We can shine on our own, absolutely. We have divine within shining out from us. But when we come together with that common goal, it exponentially increases that frequency. So that's what we got to do. And that's your invitation, whether you're here online or in person. Let's see. Okay, special events coming up. This Friday, it's a very special day. 8/8, otherwise known as the Lions Gate. So Deb Jennings and Laura Jones are going to have we have a pyramid, right? Yeah. The gigantic copper pyramid with geographic crystal designs that Laura intuitively puts in a pattern. It is an incredible experience on an incredible day. Friday, 8/8, and I didn't put the time.
6:30 to 8:30.
6:30 to 8:30, so 2 hours of amplifying the energy in this room above, below, and out. How far, Laura? It's really far. You tell us.
I think they say 100 miles, but
100 miles, but we're super powerful, so,
yeah, sound healing would say it goes on forever.
right, because it just keeps going. Yeah, those waves get further apart, but they're still going. Yes. So be part of that Lionsgate. If you feel a little heart jump when I talk about Lionsgate on 8/8, come, be here, you're called. And then, that's not all. Next Tuesday, August 12th, from 6 to 8, is an aura breath class with Bell from India. So she has moved here. Her husband is a Midwesterner, but she is from India. And she is going to be training on aura breath work. There's details in the newsletter and on the calendar. She's got some regular dates coming up. She's probably going to have a new Monday regular offering. We're working on the schedule for that, but she's in this area new and so much to offer, so many credentials. Please check her out. And it's also in the newsletter. You can read and get in touch with her through the newsletter. Then the next Tuesday, August 19th, 6:30 to 8:30, is a singing bowl class with Deb Jennings. So if you've been to the sound meditations, you know how beautifully she plays those bowls. And that's going to be an opportunity to learn more about them. And then October 4th, there is an all-day retreat. A woman named Lori Reisling. She's also somewhat new to the area, but she's been, her details are in the newsletter. You can read about her. She is not a new practitioner. She's just new to us. And she is going to have an all-day retreat called You Are the Medicine on October 4th. So if that's calling to you, please check that out. She is pre-registering now. As far as regular events, there has been some changes. Last week, it was mentioned we're not doing the Boundaries Book Club on Sunday mornings as of right now. We might put something else in there or we're talking about some other study groups in our last potluck. So we're gonna have classes, we're gonna have gatherings, but it's not that particular one. And then Mondays are going to be opened up for a while. We are planning to have some more Monday offerings, but as of right now, there's some shifts going on. But you can count on Tuesday, midday meditation with Deb Jennings, and Wednesday Tai Chi with Michael Kolbeck. So those are solid here to stay. And then of course, the Zoom Course of Miracles on Thursdays. Paul has an announcement he has to contribute, so if you want to come up, I will hand you the mic.
Hello, everyone. I'm Susan Bellows' husband,
Yes.
Paul. We had several years ago before COVID, we had what we called Spirit on the Patio. It was an hour session and everybody got together. We had a kind of little happy hour kind of, snacks and things for people to come after work. So we're going to do that. And it happens to be Mondays. Mondays in August. And it starts not this Monday, but the following Monday, 6:30, 7:30. And we're going to do intuition on the patio, healing on the patio, angels on the patio. And then that first day of September is a Monday, September 1st. That is traditionally around many cultures around the world, a very spiritually significant time. We call it in our work a spiritual new year because there's a new vibration and new energy that touches the whole planet. So we're going to actually have a celebration of the spiritual new year on that first Monday of the month, and we'll talk more about that as we get along there. So I've got some flyers in the back, posters up around, so keep us posted as to how we help. Thanks, Steve.
What patio was it on? Our patio?
The patio right there.
Okay, good. Which
Spirit on Unity's patio.
may I have this mic back?
Yes.
If anyone has noticed, there are no more weeds on the patio.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of work, just like, so we're glad that you're using it.
Yay. Well, what the thing, the ministers at Unity Greenville, Jim and Leah King, they're amazing people, and I'm going to interview them on my Rise in Excellence show. I'm going to let everybody know about that because they're longtime Unity ministers, traveled all over the world. They've been at that center for 22 years now and just made it an amazing community. They've got some tremendous insights. to share, so I'll keep you posted on that too.
Good.
Thank you. Oh, and yay, I'm so glad the patio is getting used. That's wonderful. All right. I think it's time for our statement of faith, which will be up on the screen. If we can all say this together and feel it in our hearts.
Is it?
There is only one power
Active in my life and in the universe, the divine source of all life and love.
And then next, the unity affirmation. And as you say this, we really drop into our bodies, connect with all that is, and feel the oneness. Unity of the morning is a radiating center of the divine light, mighty to attract its good and to radiate good to others. And with that goodness filling us up and spreading out, if it feels right, I invite you to uncross your arms and your legs and breathe into the life force that fills our lungs, and send special love and support to the following names: Zeke, Deja, Trinity, Brittany, Mike, Daniel, Deborah, Denny, Steve, Beverly, Scott, Deb, Kim, Misha, Amy, Amanda, Ronnie, Dylan, Christina, Paul, Kim, Lou, Amy, Tom, Karen, Scott, Celine, Jenny, Lindsay, Denise, Katie, Ron, Jenny, Marty, Matt, Jerry, Jessica, Alexander, Eric, Janine, Angie, Devin, Jody, Paul and Phyllis, Christina, Seal, and people with struggles we know nothing about. We've come to the time for our meditation in the service, so sink into the chair that you are in, let it fully support you. Let your body begin to relax. Let your breath slow down and elongate. Take another nice deep breath in of peace and calm and relaxation. And let go of anything no longer serving you on that out breath. I invite you to bring your awareness to your heart space, the space we long to live from as we co-create a new world together. And in your heart, invite a source by whatever name you use for source. Have a clear connection for guidance. Inviting Mother Earth to help ground you, to let you know all your needs are provided for. And we want to live from our hearts as we go forward today. You may have noticed there are some intense energies on the planet right now. Old systems are dismantling, and we are here to live from our hearts and create new ones that work for all. So as we go into the silence, listen with your heart. Listen for the voice of Spirit to give you guidance on what your part of this path is. How can you be of service to this new world we're creating in the silence? With loving kindness and compassion for yourselves, gently bring your awareness back to your body, back to your heart, and back to your breath. Expanding that breath, breathe in unconditional love for yourself. Loving and accepting yourself just as you are right here, right now, in this very moment. And breathing out gratitude for this time to love and nurture yourself during our meditation today. And you can expand the breath and breathe that same unconditional love for each one in this room. Letting that love flow out to every heart present and to our community online and those who are unable to join us today. And breathe out gratitude for these community members. And then a breath from deep within your belly, allowing that unconditional love to flow to all beings everywhere. We all want to be happy, well, and healthy, free from pain and suffering and strife, and to be at peace and know peace is found within. And then as you release that breath, release that gratitude for all that is, even the things that may not initially feel like a blessing. It's all unfolding for our highest good, for our soul's growth. And gently begin to move your body and bring back awareness back to this moment, this beautiful space that we're blessed to gather in every week. Another deep breath and feeling grounded, balanced, aligned, and centered. Come back. You can do that. The word for today has the topic of truth. It's taken from Zechariah chapter 8, verse 16, which says, "These are the things that you shall do. Speak the truth to one another. Render in your gaze discernments that are true and make for peace." Living in an increasingly polarized world, I'm aware not everyone will share my perspective or see life the way I do. As much as I want to live harmoniously with others, I also want to stand up for what I believe and what I know is true for me. I appreciate that others feel the same way about their beliefs. I speak my truth. I center myself in my divinity while acknowledging the divinity of all others. I'm honest and grounded, staying steady if someone does not agree with me. Likewise, I receive others' truths as I would want them to receive mine. The presence of God is within me. I am a spiritual being living with integrity, speaking words of truth with spiritual power. The affirmation that goes along with this, I'll say it once, and then if we can all say it together, is this. I speak my truth with clarity and compassion.
I speak my truth with clarity and compassion.
All right, so we have Dennis back on guitar, and we have another song before our speaker today. And feel free to sing along. And Devin, if you didn't know, there's 3 slides that you have to go through most of them.
Accept that God is like ready to receive. I'm ready. He's like ready. I'm ready to receive. Accept that God is all knowing. Accept that God is like ready to receive. Accept that God is all knowing. Accept that God is like ready to receive.
Hmm,
I felt that. How about you guys?
yeah, thank you for that.
Yes. All right, I'm getting the mic set up for our special speaker who happens to have been a spiritual mentor for me for decades ago when I first had my eyes open to maybe another way of looking at life, the world, and the universe. And it is my pleasure to introduce Anita Shekinah on the topic co-creating a new world. Please welcome Anita Shekinah. Is that too high? It's too high, sorry. Very short. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Stevie.
You're welcome. Here, I think.
Okay. When I first moved to Des Moines 22 years ago, I'll get over this, I'm just gonna get emotional.
Yeah.
This bump sticker fell off my car. It says, her story, the greatest story never told. Well, that's changing. And another bumper, I'm known for my bumper stickers.
Yes.
I noticed that in the parking lot.
So my favorite one that's on there now is create the world you want to see, which is what I've been doing in creating this new tarot deck. And I don't know how many of you are familiar with the tarot, but it's a bunch of archetypes that are supposed to represent life stages or who we are. Well, they come from a system that's sort of obsolete now. It's like part of the structures that are crumbling. So the same time, about the same week, this bumper sticker fell off my car. I got a letter from a friend of mine who was a student at the St. Paul's School of Theology the same time I was, and announcing in a newsletter that women students had petitioned the dean to offer a degree in women's studies, and it was granted. They now do that. Well, 40 years before that, I had suggested to a professor when I was a student there that I wanted to focus on ministry with women, and he looked at me like I was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 40 years, it took
time, but it happened.
but it finally happened. So I went to seminary because of the women's liberation movement. I was a part of a consciousness raising group. Anybody been in a consciousness raising group? Okay, I lived in Kansas City, so it's more common there. I think that in Iowa, no. And every woman in that group radically changed their lives after being awakened to the fact that how we felt about ourselves wasn't our own personal issues, it was how society looked at women. And that was just a big revelation to all of us. And I remember going to a gathering where we were trying to empower ourselves, and one of the women said, "It's a hard job holding myself back."
Yeah, yeah.
And I recently heard somebody say that. I said, "My gosh, haven't we progressed at all?" But anyway, it takes a while. Okay, now, Stevie, would you come up here a minute?
Yes,
So here is a tape measure. See the two dots on there?
yeah.
Okay. Here is the time. Okay, put your your thumb on one of those dots. That's the time we live in now.
Oh,
That's 5,000 years of patriarchy. Everything from here to there is Paleolithic times. When, thank you, when people were in awe of women giving birth, because what a fantastic
Oh,
thing that
wow.
was.
Yeah.
Women were gathered around campfires, and it was the women, the sisters and aunts and grandmothers who were keeping the fires burning, and the men were out hunting. The men provided 20% of the food. The women, doing the gathering, provided 80% of the food.
Mhm.
So all those myths you've heard about the Stone Age are totally false. Because what was happening in all of those times were first and I've tried to make a timeline. And the thing that happens is there are more and more and more discoveries made all the time.
Yeah.
So I meant to show you that. Well, that first little notch was to represent 30,000 years of history, because this is the Venus of Willendorf, and I was gonna pass it around, but maybe when we struggle with it, that's better. It was, these Venus figures, are what they're called, were made to be held in the hand. So how important they were as a pregnant woman. And they've, 30,000 such images made out of clay, mammoth bone, wood, well, the wood's still last very long, but all the kinds of Venus figures that women had and carried with them to remind them of the goddess, really, that they realized that the goddess created everything. Everything is born of women. I mean, that's just the way it is. So, okay, well, I left off this sentence. The common misperception of our ancient society as being not only created by, but dominated by sexist and ferocious territorial men has no truth. So there's the timeline for over three. Okay, so then the Venus of Willendorf was 30,000 years ago, but then all these Venus figures, the oldest one found from this point is 300,000 years old.
Wow.
So you still get that little bit of the patriarchy and time stretching on and on and on. So that's when, the earliest times when they were cave dwellers, and then they gradually gathered into communities and had villages. And in every village, there was a temple that was sacred to the goddess, where the home fires were burning. And it was important that the fires could continue to burn. When women would move from their mother's home to another place, they would bring some of the fire with them. Because remember, well, it's hard to imagine how they were dependent on fire for not only warmth, but light. That's all,
Yeah.
and plus how important the night sky was, or even the day sky. The Venus, the planet is both a morning star and an evening star, and that has a great significance to people because they could see that star and then the power of the moon and the phases of the moon and the magic of women bleeding when the moon is invisible because it's rising and setting at the same time. And then the magic of giving birth, that was all held in great esteem. And the earth was seen as the body of a woman, caged with thought of his wombs, rivers as veins, or the flow of life-giving milk. Those were seen as breasts. So all of the powers of women were celebrated. Birth was considered the first greatest miracle of all the wonders of this earth.
Yeah.
And women's ability to produce nourishment from their own bodies, to feed their babies on the milk of their breasts. The role of creator was the first and most important of all the qualities. Great goddess was the one who responsible for the birth of everyone and everything in the universe. Women were honored for their wisdom and their negotiating abilities, as well as for their sexual magnetism. It's interesting the way our feelings about life has been so determined by the patriarchy. And one of the reasons that happened, well, so we have all of those women honoring times, the villages and then towns and every town. And then the only way that there could be a ruler of a city was to have made love with the goddess, because the goddess was the one that put that stamp on. This is a worthy person to lead. Okay, anyway, that's a long story. And so the invading people, so we get into the Bronze Age where they had metal weapons, and they wanted to take over. And what they found was women-centered society. Everything was, the women were in the temples. They had the herds and the farms and the crops, and everything went through the temple. That's where the records were kept. So the invading people came in and just gradually, well, first a son or a brother who was also the goddess's lover and consort. This became the main role, and they gradually became the kings and the stamp of who could be the kings. So the goddesses were honored, and women up to about 6,000 years ago, or only 1,000 years ago, depending on what part of the world you're in, because of the Ice Age. Different places were able to create villages and move from hunting and gathering to the villages when the ice melted. So here is where original sin enters the picture. I went to Cornell College. I majored in religion and philosophy. So I took a Judaism seminar. And the rabbi who taught the class had the tattoo of his numbers from the concentration camp. He was the same one that Viktor Frankl was, man, search for meaning.
Oh, yeah.
And I asked him about, what's all this about original sin? And he said, we don't believe that. I said, but wait a minute, it's in your part of the Bible. It's in Genesis. He says, no, we don't interpret it that way. And actually, it wasn't until the 4th century or so that one of the Catholic scholars described what original sin was, and that sex, which is the very means of procreating new life, was immoral, the original sin. So everything that was wonderful and beautiful about goddess society was reversed.
Yeah.
The patriarchal reversal. So here is what some of the church fathers said, close your ears if you don't mind hearing this. Every woman should be overwhelmed with shame at the very thought that she is a woman. Saint Clement, the fourth Pope of Rome. To be fully developed as a human being is to be born a male. St. Thomas Aquinas, who believed the female sex was produced by a defect in nature's active force.
What the hell?
If the world could be rid of woman, we should not be without God. Cato of Utica. Among all savage beasts, none is found as harmful as women. St. John Chrysostom. I'm glad you're laughing. What a misfortune to be a woman, and yet the worst misfortune is not to understand what a misfortune it is. Okay, and it wasn't just the Christians that said this. Here's what, if you were an Orthodox Jewish man, you would say this prayer every morning. Blessed art thou, O Lord our God, King of the universe, who has not made me a woman.
Wow.
And here's another headline. The birth of a daughter is a loss. Better is the wickedness of a man than a woman who does good. And then from the Quran, men have authority over women because God has made the one superior to the other and because they spend their wealth to maintain them. So good women are obedient. And then Hindu lawgiver said, women are as impure as falsehood itself. Day and night, women must be kept in dependence on the males of their families. So that's the heritage we have in our patriarchal DNA. And we have that other 800,000 years of goddess honoring in our DNA as well.
Yeah.
And so that will help us continue to dismantle all the corruption. I didn't think I'd ever use that word, but that's what it is. But all of that way of thinking is what caused the witch hunts. So in the 14th and 15th century was a really crazy time because we had the witch hunts, which were women murdered
Right.
because they were women. And then we have the Renaissance, Leonardo da Vinci and all of that. So it was a wild time. Oh, and so the witch has the Malleus Maleficarum. Who's familiar with that? Malleus Maleficarum. The witch's hammer is what these Catholic priests decided, and that's where some of these quotes are defaming women and giving them justification for murdering them. And they said the reason, there are some, both Christian and Jewish scholars who say that the story of Adam and Eve was purposely put in the Bible to switch people from believing in the goddess and believing instead. So you were a heretic if you didn't believe in the Catholic Church.
Right.
You were a heretic. You know the word heretic, what it means, heresy means choice. So if you chose something different than the Catholic Church, you got murdered. So everything wonderful about women was called evil. That's just the way they thought about it. Because they wanted, the goddess worship was so wonderful and empowering and sensual and sexual and everything that people didn't want to leave it.
Yeah.
So this was their last ditch effort and it's somewhat succeeded. Okay, so my parents were peace and social justice advocates, and my siblings and I have continued that legacy. My dad was a minister. He never preached about the devil or hell. Never. We never heard that. He was a storyteller.
Yeah.
Telling, okay, this is the situation, this is what we can do about it. That was his approach. So when I went to seminary and said I had to believe that I was saved Jesus saved me from my sin. That was never anything that I ever heard growing up as what I thought was a Christian. So and being a newly minted feminist, I said, I don't need a man to save me from any alleged sin. So that was my approach. Um, So it's time for a matriarchal reversal. With gratitude to Matthew Fox, Linda knows Matthew Fox. He was a Dominican priest who started reading Starhawk and other feminists and studying the women mystics. And he said that this whole thing about original sin is just wrong. And so he wrote a whole really fat book called Original Blessing. So I am indebted to him. Yes, it just came around. And then two other people who have influenced me is Jean Houston, who says, change the story and you change perception.
Yeah,
Change perception and you change the story.
yeah, yeah.
And Buckminster Fuller, he's the guy who created the geodesic dome. He was a fascinating person. You never change things by fighting the existing reality.
Yes.
You change something, build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete.
Yes. Yes.
So this particular archetype in the tarot that I've done the matriarchal reversal is the devil. And the devil, as many feminists and other women who have tried to describe this archetype, talk about freedom from oppression, which is a good core. And I also know that, so, you know, the thing about timelines, they're straight lines. And I have another graph of the beginning of the solar system, and it's a spiral. And I am really looking forward to the time when we don't do linear things, that we're all about vibration and frequency.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that time because I think that changes how we perceive things.
Yep.
And how we think about things and how we feel about things.
Yeah.
There's hardly anything. I mean, anyway. I think the Big Bang is a male fantasy, but then I.
I don't know, dude.
Oh, I wanted to say, so there is in the Genesis, there's the Adam and Eve story, but before that, there's another creation story. And it's, yeah, now, when I was in seminary, I took a week of Greek and a week of Hebrew. So of course I'm fluent in both.
Of course, yeah.
But I learned that Hebrew is a language like French and Italian and Spanish, has the nouns are either male or female.
Yeah.
So I looked at this name, Elohim, and I said, well, that's a combination of a masculine and feminine noun. And the professor said, in this case, that rule does not apply. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so, I mean, every culture has its own creation story. This book is just supposed to be an explanation of each archetype, but the devil has all these other components, like the whole thing about original sin, the whole thing about sacred sexuality, which we have no idea what that feels like. And also there's appendixes to each of these, but the appendix for creation stories is huge because there are so many wonderful, beautiful stories of creation from different cultures all over the world, and I've been collecting them. So it would be cool if they were published in one place. What else was I going to say? I was heading somewhere and I forgot. Well, okay. I think we're coming to my creation here. So I have this paragraph on these gold slips that Linda will pass out if you're interested. This is how I've, Oh, I know what I was gonna say, is that the whole truth of whatever we focus on, we magnetize.
Yes.
So it's so important that we get out of the muck and the mire and don't focus on that, be aware of it, but don't
Yes.
focus on it,
Right.
you don't want to magnetize it, to make it bigger.
Right.
So that's how I'm proceeding. We are all luminous beings, glowing with our own inner light, aware of the unconditional love that created us. We are born in a state of goodness and love with an inner dignity. At our core, we are all sacred, worthy, and whole. To love and be loved is our birthright. Goodness is the natural state of the world. This goodness is inherent in the beauty, wisdom, and wonder of the natural world of all that is. Life is about hope, creativity, and participating in the love of life, to be joyful and happy, celebrating beauty, compassion, and creativity. Our gift is to let our light shine as co-creating participants in a benevolent universe and to help create an interactive community of harmony and peace. So it's time to celebrate yourself, the wonderful uniqueness of who you are. Observe yourself with compassion and kindness from within. Recognize that you are lovable and have much to offer. This is empowerment based on the acceptance of all that you are, working with your strengths, tending to your challenges, and being loving, encouraging, and nurturing of all that you perceive. We must be strong within our own self-love and acceptance to be able to hold acceptance for all life. Know yourself to be sacred.
Anita.
Yes.
Yeah. They're kind of fun. Matthew Font was, when he wrote Creation Spirituality, he was silenced by the Vatican.
Matthew Fox was silenced by that, okay?
Matthew Fox, who was in a Dominican, but he was a priest. He was silenced by the Vatican for 1 year, and he went to Mexico to write that book. Well, when he came back, he was excommunicated. I have always been an Episcopalian, and I used to go to Grace Cathedral, which is also where Robert Williams went. And the bishop called Matthew Fox and said, walk across the street and I will make you an Episcopal priest in 30 seconds. So that he could keep doing his work. And I think that's great. The other thing, based on what Anita just said, is you cannot have the same negative or positive thought about the same subject. Your brain will always go to the negative.
Right.
So when you say, oh, I make a list of I want all these wonderful things in a man in a relationship, but I don't want an alcoholic, you'll get the alcoholic. No, when you learn that, you will find your service.
I hear that. You know, and I would just like to say that that's what, you know, what you're talking about and creating that frequency, that is what we're working to do here at Unity Center of Des Moines. In our world, in this room, that's what we make. So let's radiate it out. And without further ado, if you would like to share your resources with Unity Center of Des Moines to make this building possible, to encourage the community and to keep radiating love and light from here, now is your opportunity to do so.
What do you, he's having problems with his mic.
You are? Oh, I don't think it's turned on yet. Hold on. Yeah, you got that in just so that.
Okay, that's on.
There you go.
Okay, my goodness. Hello, everyone. So now is your opportunity to share resources with Unity of Des Moines. There is a basket that's going to go around. Maybe if you're joining us online and still want to help support this community, we accept donations via Venmo and also Zelle. So details about that are in the newsletter if you want more information, and also on our website. So whatever you are able to contribute, we want to offer the following affirmation.
I am infinitely abundant. Divine love through thee blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I thankfully acknowledge the divine source.
But the flood's already seen. If we die. It may come out free. I'll make you. Oh, the blood is on me. You've been out your come on, people now. I want to run into I some may come and some may go. You We're the one that left us here. Return for us about. We are but moments of life, fading in the grass. Come on, people now. Everybody together. Try to right now. You can hear the song I sing. You will understand. All the key to love and fear in your trembling hand. Just one key to our symbol. It's at your command. Come on. It's not everybody get together. Try to come on. Smile like a brother. Everybody get together. Try to right now. Right now.
Thank you so much, Dennis and Deb. All right, and thank you, Linda, for passing the basket. And we hope some feels better soon. We like to dedicate this offering to do the work of spirit and truth to the people of Unity Center of Des Moines. And we are grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, you can clap if you want to. All right, and now I'd like to invite everybody, if you feel called, to stand up and follow along as Deb Jennings leads us through the universal breathing of peace from the Gandhi Foundation.
I offer you peace.
I offer you peace.
I offer you love.
I offer you love.
I offer you friendship.
I offer you friendship.
I see your beauty.
I see your beauty.
I hear your needs.
I hear your needs.
Feel your feelings.
I feel your feelings.
My wisdom flows from the higher source.
My wisdom flows from the higher source,
I salute that source in you.
and I salute that source in you.
Let us work together for unity and love.
Let us work together, unity and love. And love.
Thank you, Deb, and let us work together for unity and love, right here, right now, and every day forward. And this concludes our service for today. I'd like everyone to make a great big circle around the room. If you would like to hold hands, that's wonderful. And if you don't want to hold hands, you can put your hands over your heart, and we will sing the peace song. The light of the divine surrounds us. The love of the divine enfolds us. The power of the divine protects us. The presence of the divine watches over us. Wherever we are, the divine is, and all is well. Please join us for the potluck next week. As always, I need 2 rows of 6 chairs each in the back on each side, and then all the other chairs along the wall, a little bit away from the registers and not stacked. It should all fit. Thank you, everybody. Hope to see you next week.